Hello and welcome to episode number 13 of the Songranting podcast, where I normally answer listeners' songwriting based questions, but today is going to be a little bit different as I have a guest finally. Can you believe that? That's crazy. Crazy. Joining me today is lyric coach and certified story grid editor Melanie Naumann, who is also the creator of Stories in Songs, Writing the Lyrics, which is an online resource for songwriters who, in a nutshell, are trying to improve as lyricists and incorporate more story narrative type elements into it. I'm not really explaining it very well. Melanie can do a much better job, so let's let her do that. What struck me about the work that Melanie does, and the reason why I wanted to bring her on, is that she brings a really cool and unique perspective on how to integrate storytelling into lyric writing for a bigger emotional impact. We've had a few conversations so far, and based on our discussions, she seems to take a very analytical approach when it comes to finding the commonalities in what can be considered to be more timeless songs. She also analyzes the lyrical content in one of my songs, but we will save that for another time. Anyway, in this episode, we're going to be discussing 3 elements to consider when constructing a narrative for your song's subject matter. All right, this is going to be the thing that steers where the lyrics are going to be going. So if you're new to the idea of incorporating story into your lyrics, I feel like you're going to get a ton out of this one. And if you're just getting started with your own music, but you're having trouble finishing, I want to give you something that's going to help out. It is my free songwriting checklist, which is just a short PDF made up of simple steps that you can take to go from having no idea to starting your next song or finishing it in the next 10 to 15 minutes. So if you feel like you're stuck in the proverbial creative mud, as it were, right, and you want to inspire some new ideas, grab that for free at the link in the description below if you're watching on YouTube, or head to fastermusiccreation.mykajabi.com/songranting if you're listening in Apple Podcasts. All right, let's get into it. But you explained it perfectly just now, because you said, like, in response to what I was saying about songwriting and lyric writing in particular, like, there's more to storytelling than just like telling a cohesive story that, plays out like a movie. You're saying that there are commonalities, or there are elements that have to be in place. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm saying that, like, the craft of storytelling, it has more power on lyrics than people believe at the moment. They just think of like those specific genres like you did. Or it's all about a complete story and about like using imagery and all those things. But the most important thing is, if you have a message that you want to communicate and you want people to take something away from your song, then you have to put it in a narrative. And it doesn't mean you have to write a complete story, but it only means you have to refer to certain things in your lyrics, and they have to be present in order to be able to communicate that message to the audience, that it can make an impact. And
Right.
that's what the craft of storytelling is all about. And I have like this huge list and with criteria, and I can just check it off. And I know the most important one of those that really impact the song the most, or the song lyrics.
Off the top of your head, what are those things? What are some of the most powerful things that you notice that are, like, as far as like making an impact, like those elements that you were talking about?
Okay, the most important one is probably having a problem that the song deals with. Like the character, so you have a character in the song and they face a certain problem. You don't want to hear songs where everything is peachy, right? You want to
Right.
have something that touches you, and you're really, when everything is peachy, you are not interested in the lyrics at all, because they can't help you survive, thrive, or derive meaning. So if you start the song with a problem or something is off, then people are interested, because people are always interested to hear about other people's problems and figure out how that problem is solved. So that's the way how you can really hook someone. And of course, you also have to deliver. And the way you deliver is by focusing on your song's character and their journey on how they deal with that problem. And they try to deal with it, and they are going to hit a turning point moment when they have to make a choice, a best bad choice or an irreconcilable good choice, which means something is good for them but not good for another one. And the way they decide shows their true character. And we don't need to have a resolution, but we have to see like the character's choice, and that will tell us, as the listener, is it going to be something that I can do for my own life when I face a similar problem? Or is it something that I should avoid? It's all about prescriptive tale or a cautionary one.
Yeah.
So that's some basic stuff how you can really make an impact in your lyrics by focusing on those things, having a problem, letting the character deal with it, not running away from it or being very like passive, like sitting on a couch and avoiding everything. Like, you don't want that. You want a character that's actively trying to deal with that thing. And sometimes they get what they want, so they also need to have a goal state that that they're pursuing. And sometimes they might not get what they want, but they will change as a person. They will change as to a better version of themselves by going through that journey of dealing with that problem. And that's something very beautiful too, because that's life. That's the paradox of life. You can't have always what you want and get what you need. So yeah, that's like the most basic stuff.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. Off the top of your head, is there any like song examples that come to mind that really like that best describe these elements, these qualities?
Yeah, I always refer to like the Monkey song "I'm a Believer" because it is such a simple song, but you have those elements present, and you have um that big problem, like the character is not believing in love, and he also thinks like love is out to get him, but at the end he turns into a believer. Like he said, like in the beginning, I thought love was only true in fairy tales,
Hmm.
and then and he hits the turning point, which
I
is
saw her
then I
face.
saw her face, right? And then he says, I'm a believer. So that's the resolution. So we have, even if it's condensed and not all like five
Right.
commandments are present, like the inciting incident and the character's decision, it's not present in the song lyrics, but it doesn't have to be, because we get a sense of how the character's situation was before and after. And that's really done very greatly. His character
Yeah.
gets what he wants, and he has this internal transformation. He's becoming a believer, and that's so cool. And that affects so many people, because there are so many out there who don't believe in love anymore. And then they just hear that song, and it's like, and it's so uplifting. And I think you can say a lot about the musical aspect of this too, how they used to use the music as well to not make it so sad, because the lyrics are like, love was out to get me, and when I wanted sunshine I got rain, and it's sad, but they have this uplifting tune to it, and it's just a great song.
I mean, the more that I'm listening to you talk about this, the more it reminds me about things like Joseph Campbell and the hero's journey and all that sort of stuff. And it seems like it's very, very similar to all of that.
Yeah, heroic journey is definitely it's basically the heroic journey as we in story would define it. It's a worldview story. It's like you have your 1.0 worldview, and you go through that journey and to update your worldview. And then at the end, you have a worldview 2.0, and
Right.
that's what the heroic journey is all about. And like when you look at concept albums, at the moment, I'm analyzing The Black Parade by My Chemical Romance, and they have the entire heroic journey like present on that album. And what's even more powerful is like when you look at the song Welcome to the Black Parade, it's another heroic journey in that song. It's just one song, but you
Interesting.
have that complete heroic journey. Like, and we have in like Story Grid, we have 20 stages to that heroic journey, from worldview 1.0 to worldview 2.0. And you can find those stages in that song, and you can
Wow.
find the obligatory moments of the external content genre in that song. And that's really great storytelling or lyric writing, because like look at Welcome to the Black Parade. It's like a song that will last for more decades. It's a song that describes an entire generation who listens to it.
It's true.
It's so amazing. And whoever says like stories and lyrics are dead, just look at that song.
Yeah. No, I mean, up until my more recent years as a private teacher, I would have kids coming in like, I want to learn Black Parade. I'm like, okay, here we go again. Yeah. No, I hear you. Totally. Totally. No, this
Yes.
is fascinating to me. All right. So I hope you enjoyed the conversation. I know that wasn't a very long one, but there was so much information packed in there that I wanted to keep it a little bit shorter than normal. And Melanie's actually got an upcoming course on lyric writing. So if you're interested in learning more, even if you think that you're not good with words, check it out at powerfullyrics.com. And while we're on the subject of all this, here are just some thoughts that I'm chewing on as a result of this conversation, right? The thing that stuck out to me the most about this was like how having a clear narrative and message in your lyrics can actually provide you with a vehicle to explore some interesting musical contrasts. For example, like when Melanie was talking about that song I'm a Believer by the Monkees, right? Some of the lyrical content was much sadder, but it was offset by the major tonality of the chord progressions and the melodies, and was coupled with this quicker tempo of the song. So it made for a much more uplifting feeling, which is very interesting to me. It makes me think of that phrase that gets thrown around a lot. I don't know if you've heard this, but when people are happy, they listen to the music, but when people are sad, they pay attention to the lyrics, right? So it's a very cool thing. It's kind of like you can choose what you want to get out of the song at any given time, right? I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, let's recap real quick. Here are the 3 elements to consider when constructing a narrative for your song's subject matter. Okay, so 1, having a specific problem that the song deals with, right? You have a character in the song, whatever that character is going to be, and that character faces a very specific problem. 2, allowing the character to deal with the problem. And 3, as a result of facing the problem, the character reaches a turning point and then changes as a person. So I find this to be really, really interesting stuff. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want me to bring on more guests like this. And let me know if you implement this into your own writing. I'd be very curious to see what you come up with when you do this. I'm going to try this out myself. This is kind of foreign territory for me as a lyricist. I come from a completely different perspective with this, which you are going to discover later on when I post our second conversation, but we'll get into that later. So thanks for listening, and I will see you on the next one. Songwriting.